Since the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, termed this term as Chisanja no sleep, everyone in the country is no longer sleeping, especially different leaders in the country. But what is drawing attention currently is the crackdown on people who are termed to be local corrupt leaders. And today, in our edition of Opening Doors with Madit, we are hosting Honorable Edwin Twinomujisha. He is also an educator and a businessman. But our today's conversation, he will be responding to some of the questions that are making waves following the ongoing crackdown on local leaders in different parts of the country. It is a pleasure hosting you on Madit Updates, Honorable.
Thank you, Charles.
First of all, to our viewers who may be meeting you for the first time, would you mind sharing something briefly to them?
Okay, thank you so much, Charles. All our viewers out there for Madit one-on-one open door, right? Yeah, my name is Edwin Twinomujisha, also known as the Kondere. And indeed, it is very true. I'm an educator, I'm a businessman, and beyond that, I'm a people's leader because I recently contested to represent the people of Shenyishaka municipality to the parliament of this country. And indeed, that does not limit our potential, but keep serving. I believe that is who Edwin is.
Honorable, just to start with, during his inauguration, the President Yoweri Museveni Kaguta termed his new Chisanja as Chisanja no sleep, and a term for accountability. From your perspective, how is the Ministry of Local Government translating this vision into action, particularly in the fight against corruption and improving service delivery?
Yeah, thank you so much, my brother Charles. Of course, once more, before maybe I start on that, I want to first join millions of Ugandans to condole with the families of the children, Ugandan children, especially those from King David, who recently lost their lives in a very tragedy, a very fatal accident that occurred in the ends of Kapchorwa. Currently, we are also mourning the demise of the General Moses Ari, who has served this country diligently. I think he has served in about, to mention, like 3 governments. He was here during Amin's time, he was here during Obote's time, and indeed he has served diligently during President Museveni's time. So we really stand with the family, especially during this trying moment, and we pray that may the good Lord continue to give you the holy comfort. So my brother Charles, I want us to understand that the words President Museveni mentioned, and he termed this term as Sanja, no more sleep. It should be clearly understood by Ugandans that the president intentionally wanted to put an emphasis that this time around, the local leaders, the government officials in the different public offices, they must stand specifically to prioritize the service to the citizens of this country. And then, of course, he understands, he knows clearly that Uganda has been struggling to deal with corruption for over time. And this time round, maybe President Museveni, in his own words, he's aware that the corruption and the corrupt officials exist. He's aware that the corrupt officials can be dealt with. And maybe in his own wisdom, he could be saying that, yes, look, enough is enough. I have given you time. I have been able to see what you guys have been doing, even when you belonged to my own home. But this time around, we are coming to smash, to dismantle all the plans that intend to grab anything that is intended to be served to Ugandans. Now, on the other hand, my brother, when you look at how the Ministry of Local Government is behaving, to me, they are translating the whole concept of Sanja no more sleep accurately well. Because you will understand that I have been clearly and keenly following Honorable Baramu Bargahara and the State Minister for Local Government, who is Honorable Namere Justin. You will see that they have prioritized the monitoring. They are putting much emphasis on direct monitoring. They are putting much emphasis on accountability, because that's what President Museveni was calling for. That can we have a set of accountability? Can we have the leaders who are fully accountable to their responsibilities? You see, becoming, being put in any public office, it's just a responsibility. It is a responsibility that comes along with accountability, and it is not supposed to be used as an opportunity to serve personal interests. And to me, I think Honorable Baram Barugahara and Justin Namere, they are exactly doing a clear and quick interpretation of the president's slogan or statement for this term, that they are stepping out to see if I have seen where they have been, and you find that the doctors and other nurses are not in hospital. Why would that happen in Uganda, in a country like Uganda? We have seen very many cases where he has visited the schools, and before you know, the school is submitting the numbers that are completely different from the actual numbers on the ground. So to me, stepping out, any leader, any government leader, any person who is holding any public office, it is high time they learned something from the approach used by Honorable Barama and Honorable Justin, so that they can step out and they discover. Let me tell you, my brother, we are going to finally see a lot that we have not seen before. Yes, because the approach has completely changed. And how is it changing? Sanja, no more sleep. This we are now experiencing, we are seeing a minister who is not only sitting in the office to clean their shoes and maybe keep clean all the time, to only wait for the reports from different corners. Because ideally and initially, we have seen the ministers of local government where one will sit in the office and then they make a phone call to receive reports from Bushenyi, to receive reports from Mbare, from different parts of the country. And then he only peruses. Because you see, the corrupt officials are the same people who are making these reports. So how different do you expect them to be? Then absolutely never and never completely. Then what must you do? You must do things slightly different. Things that are done in a different manner than we have done them before. And that's why, to me, I think Ugandans should rise to really give credit where due. Honorable Baram and Honorable Namere, they are doing what every other minister in this country is supposed to be doing at the moment.
Honorable, that brings me to my second question. You are both a teacher and a parent. And you understand that discipline is often most effective when it seeks to correct rather than publicly shame. Some Ugandans believe that the current operation under the Ministry of Local Government, headed by Honorable Balam Baragara and his deputy Justin Namere, is just meant to draw the president's attention. How do you respond to this criticism?
You see, I'm happy with the way you really started, because I really touch into the area of education as a teacher and as a parent. It's very true. But of course, Charles believe and understand that for every event that is intending to fight against corruption in this country, we always attract both support and criticism. That one is very obvious. For as long as you rise and say, we are fighting, I'm preaching, I'm mobilizing masses against corruption, you must gain some support, you must also gain some criticism. And in most cases, it's simply because this is corruption, and in the political space, it is entirely about how each one of us would really weigh through the event. Now, to be direct on that, my brother, let's understand that the fight against evil should never have a formula. The fight against evil should never have a formula. To me, I think, the polite and very, diplomatic approaches of managing corruption have been tried before. They have definitely been tried before. We have seen the government put up the anti-corruption unit, the State House anti-corruption unit, so that they can diplomatically handle some of these affairs, especially from the big, office bearers. But then, now that the approach has, because in education, when you use one method and it is not helping you to achieve the planned desired competences, then you must definitely change the approach. You must change the method. So to me, those people who are just condemning and criticizing, feeling like Honorable Namera and the Honorable Baram are doing it wrongly, then they must sit down and check themselves as well. Because to me, let this be done. Let it draw the attention of the president. And by the way, let me tell you something. Do you know that of late, I have been in different parts of this country, but everywhere you go, people are always their phones, finding out the progress. They want to see what Honorable Baram has done today. They want to see where he has been today. They want to see how many thieves has he got. They want to see how many corrupt officials have been discovered. Why? Because Ugandans have been lacking the center of accountability. They have been lacking the center of making a clear follow-up over the events. Ugandans are now very happy because these corrupt agents are being exposed. So to me, it is okay. It is okay. We have very many ways of appreciating efforts. If you have done well, let you be publicly known. I have seen today. I was watching. I saw where Honorable Baram praised a certain Dr. Kate. Dr. Kate in Namataba. There is a certain hospital there. He phoned and the residents said, this doctor is our hero. This doctor has done it all for us. Then the doctor was praised. So what's wrong with that one being done publicly? So in the same way, let the corrupt officials be exposed. Maybe my question in this should be that after we have exposed them, after we have identified them, what is then the consequence? What is then the impact? In my own wisdom, I would imagine that this should be the right time. The corrupt officials have stolen government's money and built houses around. They have really stolen taxpayers' money and constructed hotels. They have stolen government's money and put up different homes. These assets are well known by Ugandans. To me, in my own wisdom and in my own suggestion, I would say that after identifying an officer, the government, public bearer, office bearer, who has stolen the government's money, after getting them, let's make a follow-up, identify their assets, sell them, get this money back to the, to Ugandans. That is what I would do. It would be my single prayer. Let's get them. Let's identify them. Let them be exposed. And to me, then in case we discover that there is a need for fair hearing, of course, from my own judgment now, let them be as well submitted. Let them be submitted. Like you have seen, Honorable Baram moves with the lawyers. He moves with anti-corruption unit members. He moves with the RDCs. Let them be identified. That is okay. Let them be exposed. That is very fine. Let them be subjected to a fair hearing, especially those who think that they are denying. I mean, those who are still denying. But then, why should we go on to waste the court's money, the government's money, time and money, by bringing someone to court who has already accepted that, yes, it is true. I saw the head teacher of a certain school. He said, yeah, I have been adding over 340 students. You get what I'm talking about? And that is a lot of money. So if he's actually pleading guilty, let us see where he has been investing this money. We just sell the property, get the government's money there, and then the deal is done.
Talking about wasting government's money, Honorable, for years, Uganda has faced significant challenges, especially with corruption, with reports estimating that the country loses over 9 trillion annually. what gives you confidence that the efforts being undertaken by Honorable Balam Barogara and his deputy Justin Namere will reverse the trend?
Yeah, like I said before, different approaches to curb corruption in this country have been used before. But now the fact that the approach has completely changed. We have seen the monitoring of government programs being done directly. By the way, you should have understood, I have seen there is Honorable, the State Minister for Tourism, Honorable Nakauchi. I've seen her in the field. I have seen Honorable, of course, for the local government, they're in the field. I have seen Honorable Janad, that one of science and innovations is in the field. Now that the government ministers have taken a different step out of their offices and they do direct government program monitoring, then alone that one signifies that there is a different trend in the fight for corruption. Then number two, what gives me that strong confidence is that the public is willing to testify. The public is willing to give, to fight for the accountability. We have seen, I saw one case where a certain, resident was telling Honorable Baram that yes, the deputy RDC is there. Let him come here and tell us he stole this and this money. The man was in camera and he was very bold enough. That one has not happened before, my brother Charles. We have not seen cases where people out of the community can come to say this one stole our money. Why? Because there has been a serious threat that the moment you choose to step out and give such a testimony, then automatically you will be looked for. You will be fought against. Fought hard, and people will really, come for you. But this time around, the public is willing. Then number two, I have also seen in a case where the residents are saying, this one is our assistant RDC, but he has done well, extremely well. Now, that gives us confidence that it is the true. Ugandans are understanding that corruption can be managed. Ugandans are understanding that it's not Honorable Edwin's responsibility to speak about all this. Ugandans have understood that it's a collective responsibility. Ugandans have understood that the fight against corruption is entirely in our hands to identify the thieves. You go to the office, you are looking for the job, and the District Service Commission is requesting for a certain bribe. You just record them, bring them on board, we get them. To me, I was saying that how I wish, Honorable Baram and Honorable Justin Namere, they open up a platform, a WhatsApp platform, and they say whoever has any scandal, any case of corruption, submit and the details here. You will see what will happen in Uganda. And what about when all ministers are according for that? So that they give the freedom back to the community, to the public. They say, you have any scandal, corruption-related scandal, raise it up. You will be protected. So that, you see, these people who are willing to come and testify, they are served with security, they are given enough protection, and you will see Uganda change completely. The problem is that some Ugandans who think things can never change, things have been like that, and therefore the systems are rotten. This can never be. My brother, it's a different time. It's a different setting. We have seen light ahead of us, and sooner or later we shall get maybe a new president of this country. So I want to tell you, my brother, we can change the narrative and we can live in a better Uganda.
Honorable, a political analyst argue that in most cases, high-profile anti-corruption campaigns is intended to divert public attention from deeper governance challenges. Do you see any hidden agenda in the current operation being undertaken by the Ministry of Local Government, or you believe the efforts is being undertaken to enforce and transform the nation?
You see, just like I said before, we are all Ugandans and everyone is entitled to their own interpretation of events. So in this country, we have people who quickly interpret events the way they see them. One will tell you that this is a political propaganda. One will tell you that it's a political shade that intends to cover a number of events. But in my own wisdom, I think that one I will leave it to the, to independent individuals. I mean, the way you see it, the way you would want to call it, it is entire upon you. But in my own wisdom, it is another wave. It is a different wave. It is a different approach. It is a different method. It is a different fight. It is now the journey, the light that is touching towards the better Uganda, new Uganda. So I would imagine, and very quickly, that my brother, this time we are stepping into, leadership that is attached to integrity, leadership that is attached to values. And if that is happening, then automatically it is going to draw us that, like President Museveni is preaching about accountability and the sun no more sleep. Let every other person who is coming to serve in any office, in a public office in this country, understand that the leadership they are giving them is not about is about responsibility. When you are appointed as the minister in this country, you are appointed as another DC, you are appointed as another CC, you are appointed as maybe the doctor in charge of a certain hospital, you are appointed as the head teacher of a certain school. Understand that that is the mighty responsibility that has been served to you, not an opportunity to serve personal interests. And that's what I'm saying. So to me, whether this intends to hide any political agenda and whatnot, my focus is the fight is against corruption, and corruption affects all of us in Uganda. And therefore, if it has come on board, let's rise to support it. Let's rise to say this must end. Let's rise to say, we cannot have corruption anymore. Then let's fight it genuinely. For as long as we win the battle, then the other case will come and we see, was there anything hidden behind this? Because, you see, for any forces, efforts that come on board to fight corruption, will have a very serious criticism. Why? Because the corrupt officials will start now using agents to fight the force, because they understand their time has come. That's why we are disappointed. Me, I come from Bushen. We are disappointed. We saw our leaders from the greater Ankware, claiming this should not be the approach. Let us be invited to Kampala and first meet the minister. For what? For who? By who? We are saying, stay where you are. Let the minister do his work. Let the follow-up be clearly done. Let's discover where is the government's money going. Let's understand when you are going to arrest a thief, you don't need to first negotiate. And you alert them that I'm coming. And that's why the approach is defeating very many Ugandans to some extent, that people are feeling like, maybe this is a cover that by the time we finish this, Mhoz will have taken over. Then he must take over. He must take over. The point in this is, we are all Ugandans. We all deserve to be in a better Uganda. And beyond that, we want to live in a free corruption environment. So what's wrong with Ugandans teaming up to fight this? We can do it.
Honorable, lastly, before we sign out, as a seasoned leader and a senior citizen of Uganda, what message would you convey to Ugandans, especially public servants and young generation, in regard to integrity, accountability, and the country's development?
Yeah, so for the leaders, any other leader in this country who is already, leading or is sitting in a certain office, serve with integrity, period. Serve with integrity. Do exactly, serve in a manner that you would want another person to serve you if you visited them in an office. You exactly deliver what you would want to be delivered to you. To any government official, any office bearer, do exactly what you would want to be done to you. Serve with maximum integrity. Let's not serve in a shadow of corruption, in a shadow of embezzlement, in a shadow of bribery. Let's serve with values, morals, and character. Let's serve in that line. Then, of course, to the new generation, I want to tell you that the future lies within your hands. And of course, the future could be the present. Because if we must prepare for tomorrow, we must plan for today. We must plan for today if we must look at tomorrow. And therefore, the future is in our hands if the future is the present. So to me, all Ugandans, especially the youth, the young people, let's engage ourselves in constructive ideas. Let's engage ourselves in hard work. Let's engage ourselves in innovation. Let's follow the government programs. Let's work along with the president of this country, President Museveni. He has brought a number of multiple programs, multiple projects. Let's see how best these projects can be supported. Let's step out to see how we can support those who cannot be supported. And above all, let's engage in active politics. When I was coming into politics, many, condemned me and criticized that I was young, I was this and that. The young people engage in active politics. Rise on your feet and say the wrong is wrong and what is right, let's credit it. But let's look at the Uganda that we would all want to admire, living without segregation, corruption, or another sort of evil. Yeah. The Madit, I want to thank my brother Charles, of course, and for this innovative mind about Madit. This is going to be a very mega platform. I want to thank you for coming up. This is exactly what we are talking about, that the president has given us a platform. You have come up with an idea. You have put up Madit. Let it be a platform supported by almost everyone, so that at least it becomes a platform of addressing a number of events in this country. So to me, I want to commend you, my brother Charles. I want to commend you for the management and leadership for Madit, to make sure that you are putting an online channel that should be viewed, an online channel that should be supported. Let people go to YouTube, they check out for Madit, they go to TikTok, they check out for it, the Facebook and other, and on X, so that at least the updates are brought on board, so that at least the events are seen by Ugandans, so that the analysis that is made by some people like us is widely watched across all corners. So I thank you, the Madit. Keep it up, my brother. It's an innovation worthy celebration.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is not just the beginning. The President of the Republic of Uganda, during his inauguration, said, this term is Chisanja, no sleep, and for every leader, they are following what the President of the Republic of Uganda said. Ladies and gentlemen, today on Opening Doors with Madit, we've been with Honorable Edwin Twino Mujisha. Thank you for supporting us, and keep following us on TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and for more information, do reach out to us on 0784 017 400. Keep it here.